folks. Welcome to an all new episode of So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. This is your pal Ryan, and this is your Tuesday episode. How are you guys doing? Now, listen, if you're listening to this, you're probably not going to have an issue. But if you, for some reason, are watching this, like the people on YouTube, just know I look like a big tomato. I look like I'm one of the castmates of Real Housewives of New Jersey. You can call me Louis Ruelas. I got a little too much sun, but I will say in my defense that that the whatever this camera that I use is, it makes it look way worse than it is. But thank you to everybody that's given me a bunch of home remedies for my sunburn. Some people were just like, "Hey, it's over, man. Just go to bed." But no, this is my last day here in Cabo, but I'm here with you guys, and I'm very excited to be here today because today we are celebrating all things mom talk. And I am going to explain to you, I'm going to mansplain to you what mom talk is. And of course, this is in regards to the new Hulu 8 episode first season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives that premiered this past Friday. And I think a lot of you guys have gotten into it, are digging it. But if you haven't, I highly recommend you watching this reality series. I really loved it, and I think you're going to dig it too. Like any reality show, it takes a moment to catch up with because you're learning new characters. I mean, I still am trying to figure out who's who, like there's a lot of characters. Uh, some are very similar, but then as you get further into the story, you realize that they are all unique. They all have their special power. I kind of compare them to like the Avengers or the Justice League. It's just that they live in Utah and they're very successful on TikTok. So I guess that's a little different than the Avengers. But I think it's a great first season, and you can already see this get a second season. Now, we're going to talk about this today because we have four, count them, four of the cast members of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives here with us today. We have Mikayla Matthews, we have Mayci Neeley, we have Layla Taylor, and we have Jessi Ngatikaura. And they were fantastic. They were fantastic. And what I'm excited about with the second season is there was so much left on the cutting room floor from talking to these ladies about all of their stories. And these ladies in particular, like all of them, but these ladies have so many amazing parts of their stories that you guys haven't been able to see yet. So you're like, this is what I love about reality TV is that already, because the show focuses primarily, or at least the first season, is Taylor Frankie Paul, who kind of got this whole ball rolling. And we'll go over that in a second. And then, then I guess the reality show villain, Whitney, who Whitney, I don't think had a good weekend probably after watching this, but don't worry, you guys, she's already defending herself profusely on the old TikTok, and still not taking any sort of accountability, which I will say is one of the key ingredients to a good reality television star. So Whitney, thank you for your service. But then it's surrounded by these other amazing girls, and you're gonna, get to hear from four of them today. But like I said, what's going to be great, mark my words, you are going to find more and more about their stories in season two. So that's what primarily today is going to be about. And then, of course, don't worry, we'll get to all the other pop culture stories on Wednesday's episode because Maritza wrote up a list of like all of this stuff going down. And there's so much stuff going down right now. Also, want to give a shout out to Maritza, her podcast, Love is Latino, which is a Love is Blind recap podcast of the Love is Blind Mexico season. Is the first episode's out now, and I think she's going to be releasing another one tomorrow. I'll post all about it, but go support that podcast as well. Really proud of her. So I think it's just amazing. So there's a lot of stuff, but I want to mention two quick things. Lala Kent from Vanderpump Rules, she made the announcement that her baby's name is Sosa. Sosa Kent, Sosa. So congratulations. I knew we were going to get the baby name this week, but we got it on a Monday. And yeah, Sosa Kent, she posted a black and white photo of her daughter's feet, very Justin and Haley Bieber. And it seems like everybody is excited for her. So yeah, that's Lala Kent, Sosa Kent, Sosa, Sosa. So that was news. But then the news that really shocked me, and I'm not even joking about this, is did you guys watch Rachel Zoe Project on Bravo? It was, way back in the day on Bravo. We got to meet Brad Goreski because of that show. I watched every season of that show, and obviously Rachel Zoe, this huge person in fashion, but we also watched her relationship with her husband Roger. It was a big part of the series, and they had been married 26 years and they were together for 33 years. And they announced that they are getting a divorce today. This was the statement that Rachel Zoe put out there on the old Instagram. It says, after 33 years together and 26 years married, Roger and I have come to the mutual decision to end our marriage. We are incredibly proud of the loving family we have created and our countless memories together. Our number one priority has been and will always be our children. We are committed to co parent our boys and to continue to work together within the many businesses we share. We ask for privacy during this time as we navigate this new chapter. With love and gratitude, Rachel and Roger. And I gotta say, man, that bums me out. I mean, it bums me. Relationships are so hard, right? I mean, we even see it in the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and these girls are really young. But like relationships, I think we all know how hard you have to work sometimes to make it work. And I think sometimes we will kind of say, oh, well, they're super rich or they're a little famous. It's fine. They deal with the same crap that we deal with, us common folk deal with. So I'm sure we'll find out more about why they decided to end their marriage. But I thought that was I just really wasn't expecting it. I mean, I had heard rumblings last week, but I don't know. These days, I hear rumblings about everything. I mean, literally, there's too much false information out there. But yeah, we got an official confirmation about that. So that was a bummer. If you do, what's not a bummer, guys, if you do like the show, remember to rate it 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I would really appreciate that. Thank you for helping me out in that regard. And then, like I always say, if you want to support the show more, go on over there to the Patreon, patreon.com/so bad it's good. What up, baddies? We're covering the first season of Vanderpump Rules over there. We'll be doing a Q&A, I think, this weekend over there. That I'll be putting out. So we'll put up a post so you can get your questions in, and we will talk about anything that you want. And then I am going to be flying to New York from Cabo tomorrow, and we're going to the 90 Day Fiance. They're doing not a cruise, like, sleeping overnight, but they're doing this boat ride cruise thing to celebrate the 90 Day Fiance franchise and before the 90 days with TLC. So I'm going to go to this cruise and meet some of the cast of 90 Day Fiance. Man, I got to tell you, I would love to introduce the cast of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives to the cast of 90 Day Fiance. I think it would scare the bejesus out of them. I think they'd be like, wait, we're on the same television. It's the 90 Day universe is so different than any other reality show universe. I mean, I love TLC. I've said it from the beginning because you'll have shows like 90 Day Fiance. You'll have Sister Wives, which comes back for its new season at the end of this week. So we're going to see if Cody even manages to stay married to one wife, to Robin. We'll see if that happens this week. But then TLC will do this great thing where they're like, if you have like a gigantic wart, you'll get like 3-season deal. You'll get like a 3-season TV show. If you guys have some sort of wild acne, they'll make a TV show out of it. Like you are a star. Like they have Dr. Pimple Popper. They have like, what is the show? Like Crack My Back or something. Like they'll make a show out of any weird thing imaginable. And I love that because it just shows you that, deep down, we are all stars. We're all stars. Okay, I hope you guys are good. Let's get more into this mom talk stuff. So I'm going to take you through a little bit of the origin story before we get to this interview. But if you want to skip right to the interview, as always, there will be a timestamp. And before we get into the interview, I do want to say that I was speaking with Jessi today, who you will hear from. She's fantastic. She's the one that owns the hair salon, Jay-Z Styles, because they tell me in this interview, I don't know if it actually made the cut, but they were telling me that, this past Friday, it was them and 300 of their closest friends were doing a screening of the first episode, and all their parents were going to see it. They were going to see it for the first time. So I reached out to Jessi and I was like, how did it go? What do you think of the show? How are you doing? Because it's really crazy. Even though they're used to being big on the social media platform TikTok, it's different when you have everybody's eyes on something. And I know if you don't have Hulu, that sucks. A couple of people reached out to me and said, "Oh, I won't be watching it because I don't have Hulu." And I have to tell those people this is why they do shows like this. So they can get people like you to sign up for their service. That's why Bravo was doing that thing with Peacock, where they were keeping the Ultimate Girls Trip originally just over there on Peacock or Below Deck. They had that one series, they were doing exclusives to Peacock because they want you to go over and sign up for that streaming service. And I will tell you, with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I think they got a good show here that will actually bring people to that platform because, obviously they have the Kardashians, they have Vanderpump Villa, they have so much stuff over there on Hulu. But Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I felt like what they tried to do with Vanderpump Villa, and we'll see if it improves on the second season. You could see it was kind of getting its footing. But with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, this thing is locked and loaded. I mean, from the editing to the music to the characters, I think it has every element of what you are looking for in a reality show. And like I even said on Monday's episode, we're talking about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives more this weekend than we did the 8th season of Selling Sunset. And I will say we watched the first 8 episodes of Selling Sunset today. In beautiful Cabo. Beautiful Cabo. I spent time with the Oppenheim group today. And a real quick aside, as always, the Selling Sunset universe is completely ridiculous. I can't imagine, first off, I can't imagine owning a home. Secondly, though, I can't imagine if I was looking to own a home, if somebody from the Oppenheim group showed up. I mean, the Chelsea was getting in trouble because she wore a skirt that was pretty much like cut to like the bottom part of her private part. It was like an inch more, we would have trouble with the censors. You know what I'm saying? And it's a completely different reality because everything is so well lit. It hits you over the head with all of these crazy songs that are catchy, but you've never heard of them on the radio because they're literally made for this kind of show. They're like 30-second songs, and you're kind of inundated. You're almost told how to feel because of the editing and the music and the lighting. It's gorgeous. But then this season, they kind of have this really interesting, horrible story about Chelsea and her husband. And then there's this other story that is, I think we're going to get more into, about Emma potentially cheating with a married guy. But the Chelsea and her husband story is really heartbreaking. And then in the midst of all this drama, you get to see a lot of fancy homes that you'll never be able to afford. But none of these homes ever like impress me. They always seem really gaudy and like not livable. They like seem like kind of like hotel rooms, but just really expensive, fancy hotel rooms. We just got up to the part of the episode, I think it was episode 8, where Jason and Mary, Jason Oppenheim, they shared a dog. Even though they're not together, they used to date a long time ago, but they shared a dog. And the dog they have to, unfortunately, put down. And they're crying over this. And by the way, that is such a hard thing. Like I lost our dog Brooklyn last year, if you guys remember. Rest in peace, Brooklyn. Think about her every day. Miss her incredibly. So anything dog related in that sense, I just immediately start tearing up. And they're crying in the scene too, but you can't, it almost looks like they're laughing because they have so much Botox. So at times you can tell they are so feeling the emotion of their dog being sick, but it looks like they're laughing because their faces can't move enough. It's the wildest thing because your heart goes out to them, but at the same time, it's like darkly comic, which I hate saying. I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but you got to see the scene. You got to see the scene. But those seasons are interesting because you'll burn through them and then you'll just kind of forget about it until the next one comes up. like selling the OC. You wait for that, and then rinse, repeat, and then selling Sunset comes back again. But it is a better. I mean, it's a stronger season than it was last season, in my humble opinion. Um, but back to Secret Lives of Mormon wise, they do shows like this, and they put so much work and effort into this because they want you guys to sign up for their service. And I think with this, like I said, they got a pretty good shot, because I think we're going to keep talking about this. I think a lot of people, even little moments that I keep thinking about, I'm going to go back and rewatch the entire season. And let me know if you want me to recap the entire season, or kind of do short form recaps, maybe a couple episodes per So Bad It's Good episode. But let me know if you dig it, because there's a lot of stuff I would love to specifically talk about. Okay, on to the MomTok stuff itself. So this is from an article on the fantastic website, thecut.com. The Cut. It's called A Refresher on the Mormon MomTok Drama by Danielle Cohen and Olivia Truffaut Wong. And it kind of breaks down the origin. So it starts like 2 years ago. There was a 28-year-old Mormon influencer and mother of two who is Taylor Frankie Paul. Now, she was on TikTok. She had 3.5 million followers. She said to them that she was getting divorced in this TikTok, and started kind of talking about soft swinging with her friend group in Draper, Utah. Now, soft swinging, you guys, is it's kind of everything but sex. Remember when me and Sophie on Mondays, we got really fascinated about talking about soaking? Supposedly at BYU campus, it was going around that soaking was like an epidemic, and soaking was like, because you got to wait until you're married. So gentlemen were putting their private part into ladies, and I know this sounds horrible, and just letting it quote unquote soak. And then there would be a friend called a jump humper that would jump on the bed, over and over and over again, to create that friction. So technically, according to God, you would not be breaking any rules. I know that sounds insane, but it really truly was something that was going around a couple of years ago. So soft swinging, nothing, it's not soaking, but it was this group of married people that were kind of hooking up with each other, not having sex, but hooking up. So it was called soft swinging. So Taylor had fallen in love, allegedly, with one of the husbands she was swinging with. And the other mom talkers, they were all this group that would get together and make these really successful videos, dancing, lifestyle, all that stuff. But this story blew up because all the other mom talkers, they were denying involvement. So Taylor Frankie Paul, and then a division of Mom Talk, because the ladies you see in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, that is not the entirety of Mom Talk. Obviously, Hulu and whoever produced this cast the show around a large group of mom talkers, and this is who they came up with. And I think it is good casting. But as we talk about in the interview, these weren't the ladies involved in the soft swinging. So Taylor Frankie Paul, from my understanding, is the only one in this show that was directly involved in the soft swinging. But every one of these ladies has some sort of, Whitney, I mean, her husband, which, by the way, Whitney, her husband, looks like he's in the witness protection program. Every episode, he had a whole different look. I mean, I legitimately got confused a couple of episodes. I was just like, wait, how does this guy have a different look every time he's on screen? Like by the last episode, I was like, there's no way this is the guy I saw in the first episode. There's no way. But he cheated on her from the beginning of their marriage. They moved to Hawaii. He was cheating then, and then they moved back, I think like at the end of the first episode or going into the second episode, and it's wild. So they all have something. And once again, it kind of reinforces that idea that, oh yeah, a lot of men suck. We suck, including me. We suck. So a lot of people kind of wanted everybody to like spill the tea. What really went down on this the soft swinging. So this all started because of Mormon TikTok. Uh, Occasionally, these ladies would have the appearances of their husband as well. And Taylor Frankie Paul originally was married to a gentleman named Tate Paul, and they had two kids, Indy and Ocean. And she would do these choreographed routines with a group of these like-minded Mormon TikTok moms, including Camille Monday and Miranda McWhorter, who they would joke that they were sister wives. Now, Miranda and Camille are not in this show. So this was before May of 2022. Taylor Frankie Paul used one of her lip sync videos to reveal that she was separating from Tate, which is a great way to announce a separation. We truly might be on our last legs as a nation, man. Using a TikTok video to announce your separation from your husband. And she used audio from the Miley Cyrus song Malibu. Taylor Frankie Paul showed off what appeared to be a new set of keys standing in an empty home. And the text in that video read, "In my 20s, getting divorced, started therapy, living on my own for the first time ever, along with 2 little kids." And then in a second video, Taylor hinted that there was more to the end of her marriage. A video of her moving boxes, including the cryptic text, "My life falling apart, and I can't even speak on why," without bringing them all down with me. Now, people on Reddit, our good old friends at Reddit, they began noticing that some of the mom talkers were unfollowing Taylor and liking comments suggesting she cheated. Now, the unfollowing and the Reddit, it kind of is vaguely reminiscent of just all that drama that was just going on with It Ends With Us, the Colleen Hoover drama with, that whole story with why did they all unfollow Justin Baldoni, the director. So then there was a live stream in May 25th of that year where Taylor claimed that she and her husband had been in an open relationship and had an agreement with other couples in their friend group. In her video, she was careful not to name names, but reported that she and her husband had been soft swinging. So nobody went all the way. The whole group was intimate with each other, she said in the video, which was reposted everywhere. I even remember this back in the day. So Taylor violated the group's soft swapping policies. You can't break the soft swapping policies. It's like Fight Club, you guys. She quotes, "To be honest, we had an agreement like all of us, and I did step out of that agreement." She said, confessing that she had gone all the way with someone in the group. Quote, "It wasn't like I was going around like hooking up with my friend's husband. It was like we were at a party, I got belligerent, and we went and messed around by ourselves rather than the whole group." Taylor insisted that it was a one-time thing, but also admitted that she and an unnamed man had feelings for each other. Taylor said that in the aftermath of the incident, she was shunned by her friends, though she added that no one was innocent. She also claimed that there were other people in the group who had feelings, presumably for people that were not their spouses. "There are 3 divorces in our friend group right now," she claimed. "One not really to do with this situation, but there are 2 of us who are getting divorced. As for who exactly is involved," she said the majority of Mom Talk isn't involved, and most of her TikTok friends have been supportive. Taylor also said she and her husband Tate were on good terms. She told fans that there were other reasons for the divorce, saying that the swinging incident was the tip of the iceberg. And if you watch Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, she's with Dakota now, and they seem like they have their own set of issues, even though we do know they are still together, Dakota and Taylor. They just had a child together, but he's showing up in all of his, her videos. Seems kind of like he enjoys the process of reality TV. And we've seen that with a lot of men in reality TV when it's primarily about the women. Okay, so following Taylor's video, fans started to speculate that other mom talkers must have been connected to the drama. A number of mom talkers denied the rumors, including Miranda McWhorter and her husband Chase, who posted a video denying that they were involved in the swinging and claiming that Miranda had a falling out with Taylor because Taylor started a rumor that Chase had feelings for her. My God, you guys, I mean, this truly is a soap opera. Now, Taylor responded with yet another live video explaining that Chase and Miranda had told her to tell fans that they weren't the couple involved. She also claimed to be on good terms with Miranda Camille Monday, who Taylor previously said she was never in the swinging crew because she and her husband brought too much drama. Posted comments on an entirely different influencer's account saying that she and her husband didn't swing. Mayci Neeley, Whitney Levitt, and Victoria Zalek have also posted videos saying they were never involved with swinging, and you'll hear from Mayci today. So following that drama, Taylor posted an Instagram story thanking her family for being supportive during this time and said that she was overwhelmed, seeming to address rumors she had been sent a cease and desist letter. She said, quote, "After talking with my legal team, I have all rights to share my story if wanted. However, I feel that I shared a part of However, I feel that I shared a part and will not be sharing anything else from here on out. So she didn't stop sharing. Spoiler alert. Taylor spent a few months posting updates on her life, newly single mom, and a controversial TikTok sensation. And that's when she met her new guy, Dakota Mortensen, who you see in the show. And he started appearing in her videos. And despite speculation that Mortensen is the man she swung all the way with, she explained in a later video that he slid into her DMs shortly after her swinging drama went down. Now, in 2023, Taylor Frankie Paul was arrested on assault and domestic violence charges. And you see that at the beginning of the first episode. She admitted to the police that she threw a wooden playset and metal chairs at Dakota, and one of those which hit her 5-year-old daughter. She pleaded guilty to one of the charges and agreed to a plea deal in September. In a video posted after the plea deal, she described the incident as hitting rock bottom and said it made me seek help that I wasn't getting at the time, adding that she felt guilt, shameful, and embarrassed. And then in September of last year, Paul and Dakota announced they were expecting the baby. And since then, her account had taken a hard turn towards pregnancy and postpartum content. She also posted a few reunion videos with a group she calls Mormon MomTok, though her old friends Miranda and Camille haven't appeared on her feed. So this article says, who's made it to Hulu? Pretty much everyone Taylor now posts with. A lot of her videos show her friends groups reunions have film crews in them, so it seems like they've been taping pretty much since the friend group implosion made it to TikTok. Though commenters have expressed disappointment that this isn't the OG crew. Besides Paul, the cast includes Whitney, Layla, who you'll hear from, Demi, Jessi Jessi, who you will hear from, Nagatura, Jen Affleck, and this is she's married to a second cousin of Ben Affleck, and Jen Affleck's husband is another one. If you watch the show, this guy seems like some bad news. There is this commonality, and there's a commonality with men, and I think that's why the show actually does work in a lot of ways. It shows how men can gaslight, be overly domineering. There is a complete disparity or discrepancy in how they behave and how they expect their women to behave. It really does come off like property sometimes. And then when you throw the Mormon religion and the backdrop of this religion into it, which is what fascinates me about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City as well, it adds this whole other dimension. And what I love in this interview, these ladies talk about is, that they are finding their way in the church. Not Mikayla, but the other ladies, they still are Mormons. And that this, in some ways, is positive for their religion, or can be, even though the Mormon church has come out in some ways against this show, of course, before they've even seen the show. Listen, I mean, this Mormon religion, they just got to come down on all their soda drinking. That one episode where they were going on, you'll hear their soda orders today or their drink orders. It's wild. But that's what's so great about the show too, is you have these really little small moments that are kind of silly, like their drink orders, and then you'll intercut that with Jen Affleck's husband telling her that she needs to move to New York so he can pursue his medical career, or Whitney's husband continually cheating on her, really heavily dramatic things. And through this all, the connecting tissue is that all of these women are TikTok famous, and they're a group called MomTok that are pushing out content, and most of them are the sole breadwinners for their flipping families. I mean, I'm telling you, this sounds like an amazing show, even on paper. So Mikayla Matthews is also, and Mayci Neeley, that rounds out the cast. Whitney and her husband spend some time hashing out the revelation that he has secretly been on Tinder for the entirety of their marriage, and he also claims to have a porn addiction. Everyone on the show denies having been involved in the swinging except for Taylor. So that is kind of the origins of where we are now. Now, you'll notice, and I talk about this in the interview as well, is that first episode happens, and at the end, Taylor Frankie Paul gets arrested. And then we pick back up 8 months later. And, I think that really was Taylor Frankie Paul coming to terms with what she had done, changing her lifestyle, because this show kind of hinged on her. She was the entrance point for this, even though I think each one of these ladies hold their salt. And as the episodes continue, each one of them has a standout moment. Really has a stand. I mean, I can't wait to see more out of Mikayla. I mean, Mayci has a really strong showing. I can't wait to see Layla date more. Which, by the way, Layla. Oh, you'll hear it in the interview. But that's it, you guys. There are so many other specific moments I want to talk about, but let's get to the interview since we're 30 minutes into this. But I just wanted to give you a little refresher of what we're doing here. But it's The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. It's on Hulu. Check this out. Check this interview out. And I got to tell you, like I said, this was my first in-person interview in Los Angeles, where rented a studio, got to do it in person. So of course the nerves were all over the place, but I didn't sweat. So that's a huge it's a huge plus. And I was just so excited to do it. And all the reps over at Hulu were there and they were so nice. So thank you for the opportunity. And I hope to get to speak to the rest of the cast if you guys enjoy this. So please leave a review if you enjoyed it, and let us know so we can get more of the cast members on the show on So Bad It's Good for you. I should play this. Should I play this at the end or should I play this right now? Of the voice note that Jessi sent me about, you know what? I'm going to play it right now and then we'll get into the interview. One sec. Okay, so this is what I was talking about at the beginning. This is from Jessi Ngatikaura. She's the one that owns the Jessi Styles hair salon. So she sent me a voice memo talking about what she thought of the show and how it's been this past weekend. So listen to this. Thank you to Jessi for sending me this.
Okay, so now that the show is out, it has been such a relief to have the world be able to see it all. And I actually really enjoyed it. Just as a viewer, I thought it was done really well, but also having lived it, it was so accurate to what I lived. Obviously, there was a lot that wasn't able to be shown. We filmed so much and we only got 8 episodes. So there was a lot you guys didn't see, but overall, it was very accurate to what I experienced filming the show. And I think it's opening up a lot of great conversations about religion and friendships and culture and all of the fun things. We had a Utah premiere party for our friends and family, and we had 300 people show up. It was insanity. I've never seen a movie theater that packed, and it was just so fun to be able to see people's reactions in real time to the first episode. It definitely felt odd watching it with people because it made it way more real, but overall, I'm super happy with how the show portrayed everyone and how they told our stories, and hopefully we get another season to continue doing so. Okay, so now that the show has...
Oh, wait, sorry. Okay, that's it. So that was from Jessi. Listen, it sounds like more people saw Secret Lives of Mormon Wives in the movie theater than they did Beetlejuice. So congratulations. Also, one more time, I wanted to give a shout out to that Cut article that I read from by Danielle Cohen and Olivia Truffaut Wong. Okay, here we go. Here are 4 of the cast members of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Have a great Tuesday, you guys.